In the heart of a lush island, surrounded by verdant greens and swaying palm trees, there thrived a tribe known as the Tavares. Clad in garments woven from palm leaves and adorned with bead necklaces, they lived a simple yet fulfilling life, relying on farming, hunting, and fishing for sustenance. Isolated from the outside world, they knew nothing beyond the shores of their homeland. Among the Tavares, there lived a courageous fisherman named Amani. With a sturdy boat passed down from generations, he ventured into the vast expanse of the ocean each day, braving the waves in search of bountiful catches to feed his people. One fateful morning, as the darkness still enveloped the sky, Amani and his companions set out on their fishing expedition. The sea whispered tales of mysteries untold, and the promise of a plentiful haul beckoned them forward. But as they cast their nets into the depths, a glimmer on the horizon caught their eye. A massive, unfamiliar object loomed in the distance, adorned with tiny lights that twinkled like stars in the night sky. Bewildered, they exchanged nervous glances, their hearts quickening with apprehension. Without hesitation, Amani and his companions hastily rowed back to the safety of their island, their minds filled with visions of the unknown. Rushing to the palace of their king, they recounted their startling discovery, their voices trembling with fear. King Mabuti, a wise and revered leader, listened intently to their tale. With furrowed brow, he pondered the implications of the strange object on the horizon. Sensing the gravity of the situation, he issued a decree to his people: prepare for war. The Tavares rallied together, sharpening their spears and laying ambushes along the shoreline, their resolve unwavering in the face of uncertainty. For 3 long days and nights, they remained vigilant, their eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of intrusion. But as the sun dipped beneath the horizon on the 3rd night, the object remained elusive, its presence shrouded in mystery. King Mabuti, sensing a shift in the winds, ordered a small contingent of men to investigate further, to ascertain the truth behind the enigma that had gripped their island. With trepidation gnawing at their hearts, the men set sail once more, their eyes fixed on the distant horizon. Yet to their astonishment, when they reached the spot where the object had once stood, there was naught but empty sea and the gentle lapping of waves against the hull of their boat. Returning to the island, they relayed their findings to King Mabuti, who breathed a sigh of relief at the news. Peace settled once more upon the land, and the Tavares resumed the daily routines, albeit with a lingering sense of unease. But Amani, the intrepid fisherman, could not shake the feeling that the mystery had not yet been solved. Ignoring the protests of his fellow villagers, he embarked on a solitary voyage to the site where the object had vanished, determined to uncover the truth once and for all. Alas, fate had other plans for Amani. As he ventured farther from the safety of the shore, dark clouds gathered on the horizon, and a tempestuous storm descended upon the ocean with ferocious fury. Waves as tall as mountains crashed against his boat, threatening to swallow him whole. With every ounce of strength and determination, Amani fought against the raging currents, his muscles aching and his breath labored. But the sea was relentless in its onslaught, and before long, his boat capsized, casting him into the churning depths below. Desperate and disoriented, Amani struggled to stay afloat amidst the chaos, his lungs burning for air. Just when all hope seemed lost, a powerful current swept him towards the shore, depositing him upon the sandy banks with a gentle sigh. Exhausted and battered, Amani collapsed upon the shore, his body racked with fatigue. As he drifted into unconsciousness, a shadow loomed overhead, blotting out the fading light of the setting sun. When Amani awoke, he found himself cradled in the talons of a colossal bird, its wingspan stretching across the sky like a canvas painted with the colors of dawn. With a mighty flap of its wings, the bird took to the air, carrying Amani on a journey beyond the realms of his imagination. For hours they soared through the endless expanse of the sky, until at last, they descended upon a land unlike any Amani had ever seen. Towering mountains rose from the earth like ancient sentinels, their peaks shrouded in mist and mystery. As he gazed upon the vastness of this strange land, Amani realized that he had stumbled upon a realm inhabited by giants. Trembling with awe and apprehension, he awaited his fate, unsure of what lay in store for him in this unfamiliar land. But to his astonishment, the giants greeted him with kindness and curiosity, marveling at his diminutive stature and eager to learn of his homeland and his adventures at sea. Through gestures and fragmented words, Amani shared his story with them, recounting the tale of the mysterious object that had led him to their shores. Impressed by his bravery and resilience, the giants offered him shelter and companionship, welcoming him into their midst as an honorary member of their tribe. In the days that followed, Amani learned the ways of the giants, forging bonds of friendship that transcended language and culture. Yet despite the warmth and hospitality of his newfound companions, Amani could not shake the longing in his heart for his home and his people. With each passing day, his thoughts turned to the village he had left behind, wondering what had become of them in his absence. Determined to return to his homeland, Amani confided in his giant friends, sharing his desire to reunite with his people and seek forgiveness for his reckless actions. Touched by his sincerity, the giants pledged their assistance, vowing to help him build a new boat that would carry him safely across the sea once more. Together, they labored tirelessly, gathering materials from the land and sea to fashion a vessel worthy of the brave friend. And when at last the boat was complete, they bid Amani farewell, their hearts heavy with both sorrow and hope. Setting sail once more, Amani embarked on the journey back to his homeland, his mind filled with memories of his time among the giants and the lessons he had learned along the way. And as the familiar shores of his island came into view, he felt a swell of emotion wash over him, mingled with anticipation and apprehension. But little did Amani know that he was not alone on his journey home. Unbeknownst to him, one of his giant friends had quietly followed him across the sea, his footsteps leaving behind a trail of wonder and confusion for the villagers to ponder. And so it was that on the day of his return, as Amani stepped ashore and embraced his fellow Tavares, he was greeted not only by familiar faces, but also by the towering figure of his giant friend, who had come to fulfill his promise of friendship and aid. At first, the villagers recoiled in fear at the sight of the giant among them, their minds filled with tales of monsters and beasts from distant lands. But as Amani stepped forward, extending a hand in friendship, their fear gave way to curiosity and wonder. With tears in his eyes, Amani recounted his journey to his people, sharing tales of the giants and the bonds of friendship he had forged in their land. And as he spoke, the villagers listened intently, their hearts stirred by the courage and resilience of the beloved fisherman. But amidst the whispers of awe and disbelief, the ground trembled beneath their feet, and a hushed silence fell over the crowd. Slowly, cautiously, the giant emerged from the dense foliage, his towering form casting a shadow over the village square. For a moment, time stood still as the villagers gazed upon the colossal figure before them, their minds struggling to comprehend the enormity of his presence. But as the giant knelt before Amani, his eyes filled with warmth and humility, a sense of awe and reverence washed over the crowd. With a trembling voice, Amani introduced his giant friend to his fellow Tavares, explaining the circumstances of their unlikely friendship and the giant's desire to aid their village in any way he could. And as the villagers gathered around, their hearts softened by the giant's gentle demeanor, they found themselves overcome with gratitude and humility. With the guidance of Amani and the assistance of his giant friend, the Tavares embarked on a new chapter in their history, one marked by cooperation and mutual respect. Together, they worked tirelessly to rebuild their village, constructing grand buildings, sturdy bridges, and majestic castles that stood as a testament to their newfound alliance. And as the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, the village flourished beneath the watchful gaze of the giant friend, his presence a constant reminder of the bonds that united them across the boundaries of size and stature. In the end, it was not the fear of the unknown that defined their story, but rather the courage to embrace it with open arms and open hearts. And as the sun set on the horizon, casting a golden glow upon the land, the Tavares knew that they had been forever changed by the extraordinary journey of the fisherman and the giants.